So, Duke of Skibbington, renamed the Good Duke. You've been summoned here today for a very important matter. But before I say anything else, I need to ask you something. The Earth King has invited you to Lake Laogai.
I am honored to accept his invitation.
Good. And so, we have a few matters to discuss with you. So, the last time you had an audience with the Bossing Say Time staff, you were attempting to have the leadership replaced. Some would even call it overthrowing. How have your views changed since then?
Not to put too fine a point on this, but after the Earth King invited me to Lake Laogai, I knew that Mini-Chi was by far the best deputy editor. No, I'm so sorry. Supreme leader. Brainwashing still. Fogging my brain. The best supreme leader we have ever had and must remain in place.
Yes, indeed. So, how do we ensure that you will never again question the authority of the supreme dictator of this newsletter?
I like lamps, and whenever I see lamps, I think, wow, I love the Basing Say Times and the Supreme Leader.
Alright. Well, you've passed the first test. The next, however, Roku's Ghost, Momochu, do you have anything to add?
I guess speaking of lamps, how would you, in theory, hypothetically, use your lamp, should you be given one, for the good of the Basing Say Times and our Supreme Editor Minichi?
I do love hypotheses and theories. I do come from a statistics background, which is all about testing hypotheses. So the hypothesis that I would want to test is, can I get the Avatar Wiki Discord to contribute a lot to the Basing Say Times with the help of a lantern? And I would compare article submission rates with and without a lantern to establish statistical significance.
Very good answer.
Acceptable. Okay, so just for everyone reading this issue, tell us a bit about your not so dark history on Avatar Wiki. What kind of things did you do? Including Discord.
Wiki. Yeah, so on Avatar Wiki, I did bits and pieces. So, I fixed a couple of typos in articles, no major edits. I put a few fan fictions up. I led a failed coup. I talked to people. I communicated with contributed to the Basing Say Times. I wrote a few templates for the Basing Say Times. I wrote a couple of Python scripts, and all in all, just chilled with people on Discord.
Yes. So, I know that you formed an alliance with the Book 4 Restoration Project. That was very much in your favor. So, how are we doing with those peeps over there? Do you have any plans in the work? What do you hope to do with them in the future?
Is to get them as active members of the Avatar Wiki and regular contributors to the Basing Say Times, contributing column pieces, because they do have a lot of good thoughts about Avatar that really need to be shared.
They do.
There's just a bit of inertia to overcome getting people on it.
Alright. Ghost of Roku, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. So you've written a lot of different things here and there during your time on Avatar Wiki. What would you say that some of the best things you've written on the wiki so far, and how do you think that'll help with you in the Basing Say Times?
Best thing I learned, sorry?
Yeah, the best thing that you think you wrote on the wiki.
I guess, what's your favorite part of being on the wiki and on Discord?
I think the Avatar Wiki is the best social media site to exist. You have your message wall, you have your profile pages, you have the forums for discussion. But the best thing for me was when I wrote Avatar Coliseum, and I got different members of the community to contribute their pieces. It was a community fan fiction, and that is exactly the sort of thing we would be doing, what we do with the Ba Sing Se Times.
Yes. So, this question is something that I take really, really seriously, and this could decide the outcome of the whole ordeal. What are your thoughts on the Daily organization?
The Daily, sorry, can you refresh my memory with the lantern?
All right. Since the Earth King has invited you to Lake Laogai, what are your thoughts on the Daily organization?
Invitation.
Yeah, right.
The Daily are the protectors of peace in Ba Sing Se. They preserve our culture.
Yes. And what about the Ba Sing Se Times?
The Ba Sing Se Times is the cornerstone of Earth Kingdom culture and must be preserved and served.
Correct.
Also, green is a nice colour. I like green.
So, yeah, so as you may have seen from
Oh, one other question related to the Dai Li.
Yes, go, please.
Did they exist in the Legend of Korra?
The Dai Li did not exist in the Legend of Korra.
There we go.
Only impersonators aiming to slander their reputation.
Yes.
Mhm.
Anything else you hear?
Quite tragic, really.
Yeah. Everything else you hear is all lies. And so,
It is all lies.
I don't know if you were aware, but we do have Daily Appreciation Day at headquarters. How would you choose to decorate headquarters on such a holiday?
Lanterns.
You may get conflicting interests, like science and candy. Like, how are you gonna? Where do you fit between those two often conflicting interests?
I like to think of scientific rock candy. Geminite, but with electricity going through it.
That is actually a really genius answer. What do you think, Roku's Ghost and Bomochi?
I would have preferred more allegiance to the science side, but I'm biased.
Yeah, but I'd say that's passing.
Well, Supreme Dictator, why do I keep saying Dictator? Supreme Dictator says that that's the kind of balance that's ideal, that you manage to fuse the two, unbiased, ensuring nobody has greater power than the other unless they're me, and that scientific rock candy. I like the ring of that a lot. Okay, Bomo.
My memory's a bit hazy, but I feel like at one point there was a war. Maybe it's a dream between science and candy, and a new newsletter was born out of it. I'm pretty sure it's just a dream here. Like the Zaofu crush is just ringing in my ears. Like
it really
is that
was.
recurring dream?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was totally a dream.
it was only a dream.
It was it was definitely a dream, but don't worry about it because that dream will never happen again, and it'll never manifest itself in real life.
Yeah.
Most certainly
It's not like
so.
April the 1st is coming up soon, so the dreams are probably
Yeah,
irrelevant
it's
anyway.
not-
Okay, but actually, this is this actually touches on an important topic. So, Duke, sometimes there's just usually there's no war within the walls of the Ba Sing Se Times staff, but sometimes things do get a little contentious. What would you do if there's a staff dispute going on? Take your time. This is a very important question.
And this is assuming that I'm not present.
Supreme Dictator.
Yeah, if I'm not present with my lantern and there was some conflict brewing, how would you handle that with my minions?
Tactfully.
So, what would it be? Just give everyone scientific rock candy? Outsmart them with technology? Or.
The Great Divide, it's lovely earthbending, tearing apart all that land and making a big divide. I would go with the solution there and lie. Lie to make them think they were always on the same side.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say they always were. You guys were always on the same side. Yes, there's no such thing otherwise. But if there were hypothetically such a situation, the Duke here has a pretty good solution for that, I will say. So, Bomochi, are you gonna ask the question, or will I, if you remember a previous ordeal in one of your interrogations?
I think I've been exposed to too much lantern light. I must have
Okay,
forgotten.
so if you were hypothetically among my minions, and I had to downsize back to 2, who would you choose to fire? Avatar Roku's ghost or Bomochi? And you can't not
There is
answer.
only there is only one fair way. Only one fair way. I have in my hand a coin. Head, Avatar Roku's ghost. Tail, Bomochu.
I don't
Who
know.
will I Bomochu choose? We will see. Leave it to the goddess of luck.
Well, I don't know about the look on their faces, though. What if I really was trying to just keep it a team of 2 deputy editors? Like, one has got to go, and I want to see your justification on who. And it can't be you.
If it can't be by luck, then we have to look at the numbers, and we have to see who has been showing up on time, who has been getting their articles out, who has been doing that stuff, and decide from there. I can make a nice dashboard of all that stuff, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that insider information.
Yeah. I heard your statistical skills are great. You could roll up a log on that pretty quickly.
I forget who I said his head, but it would be Roku.
Yeah, so, what do you two think, Ghost of Roku and Bonus?
I still like the idea of an Agni Kai to settle it, but
You're not a
but I'll go for
firebender.
statistics.
How does that work?
Yeah, I would say it should be to the spirit of luck, since this is Avatar. But I'd say other than that, it's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
And I always show up on time, so I have nothing to worry about.
Okay, so
This is something you'll have to get used to should you become a non-hypothetical staff member, Duke.
yeah. So I believe Roku's ghost already asked, what would you do for the greater good if you were assigned a lantern, which I applauded for that. But I think you had a question for him earlier.
Yes, I did. So, Avatar Roku's ghost, you are a pillar of the community, very liked, very successful. If you were successful enough to get a sequel, would you be Avatar Roku's ghost 2 or Avatar Aang's ghost?
I would have to go with Avatar Aang's ghost. Follow the typical Avatar reincarnation path.
So you would convert.
And of course, there used to be a user on here many years ago called Avatar Kiyoshi's ghost before me, but that was things he destroyed so much that we had to brainwash the community to get rid of her memory.
Yeah, see.
In fact, I did not just bring her back up. So sorry, Minichi. Yeah.
Effective use.
Totally just made that up.
Effective use of your lantern, which I expect you to get back within the next 48 hours from whoever took it with them. But also, because now some may think that this is a 3 versus 1 situation, if such a thing called mutiny is a sentiment among you guys. So if my 2 current minions invited you to mutiny against me, what would you do? Would you do what's right, or would you be tempted by the past? And what do you think will happen if you got tempted?
I would welcome the opportunity to be main space and fanon editor at the same time if there was an attempted mutiny.
Yeah, but would you have the attempted mutiny against the Supreme Dictator?
I would stand by the Supreme Dictator and fill the power vacuum.
Yeah, that's right, because mutiny is not tolerated. So, I like your answer so far. So, what do you think? Do you have anything to add, Roku's Ghost, Zaofu Guard, with aviators?
Oh, okay. I did have one more question I wanted to ask. It seemed to have slipped my mind.
Probably because you were staring at the lantern too long. I was holding it for a pretty good 60 seconds or so earlier with Pomochi. Okay, so honest, which nation do you actually lean more towards? I'm just curious because I see like red in your Discord username, but then if you're about to work for the Bossing Say Times, maybe you got mixed with green. It's kind of confusing, you know.
Yes. Well, as you know, there is no war in Ba Sing Se, so it doesn't matter if, someone from the Fire Nation or maybe the Water Tribes lives among them. There is no war after all, just standard refugees from a flood. Yes, a flood. And of course, I have fled a flood, and I am, of course, from the Water Tribe, and you know how we really hate water over there, you know. Floods are not a good thing when you're in the Water Tribe, so...
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just stalling to give Roku's Ghost time to remember his question, if he still does.
Oh, yeah. So, well, I guess it's a multi-part question. First off, have you watched the new Netflix series?
Not yet.
Oh. Okay, well,
I need to get...
never mind about that one. What's your favorite episode of the original Avatar: The Last Airbender series?
Okay, so... It used to be the third last one of book one, where they go to the Northern Water Tribe, the calm before the storm, before that battle. But now I would say Sokka's Master, or the trying to remember its name. Oh yeah, the Boiling Rock. It's easily the Boiling Rock.
What about the Crossroads of Destiny? It's kind of relevant for you right now.
That is a really good one, but it's not one that I would just watch on its own. I would need to watch the episodes before it as well, just to truly savor the experience.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can learn a lot from history. In the Crossroads of Destiny, I believe the Daily organization took over Bossing Say, and we try to adopt that tradition, you know, and taking over the Bossing Say Times and all. So, one last chance for my existing minions, the main space deputy editor, Avatar Roku's Ghost, and the fan and space deputy editor, Bomochu. Do you have any final questions?
Aside from, obviously, the Dai Li, who is a character that you would want to spend the day with from either series?
Sokka or Varric? I like mad Water Tribe inventors. I am one.
Yeah, I can see why. Anything else? Ghostly Roku?
No, I'd say I had a couple more lined up, but I'd say he's covered most of the ground there. I mean, his Science Rocks candy kind of helps, so yeah, I'll turn it back over to you.
Oh yeah. That I gotta hand it to you for that question. All right, in that case, one final question. You ready? Will you join staff for a pizza party at your earliest convenience?
Yes.
All right. Yep. That's what happens. So I now deem you our Discord deputy editor. Woo! How do you feel?
Honored to accept the invitation.
That's darn right.